Welcome to class, that is class 5s. And remember, we are still revising this paper that you did recently. We revised number 1 up to 30. So today we want to start from number 31 up to 60. Use the map of Kenya below to answer questions 30 to 35. So those who sent their work, I was able to mark them. But those who didn't, so I've prepared this video trying to revise this paper. So if you look at this paper, it is very easy. Most of them is class 4 mixed with class 5 work. And if you look at this map, you can be able to tell some of the physical features, some of the language groups that entered our country through various routes. So number 30, last time we said River P, or the river marked P is River Tana. Remember, River Tana is the longest river in Kenya, having its route starting from Mount Kenya. Then 31 is asking us to find the Relief region marked R. So remember, this area here is very fertile, making part of the Kenyan highlands. So this is an area where they receive cool and wet climate, and therefore they can practice dairy farming. So this is the highlands part of Kenya. Remember, we have 5 relief regions in Kenya. Then someone also is asking you to find the latitude marked O. The line of the latitude marked O is called, remember, the latitude that nearly divides Kenya into nearly 2 equal parts is what we call the equator. The following Bantus used route Z during their migration, except, so remember, we have 3 categories of Bantus. We have the coastal Bantus, call them also Eastern Bantus. We also have Western Bantus and the Central. So this one majorly was used by the Central Bantus, and Central Bantus, some of them includes Akamba, Ameru, Agikuyu, Ambere. Most of the words start with But Abaluya, they form part of the Western Bantus. Abaluya, Abagusi, Abakuria, they form part of the Western Bantu. So these people, all of them, Akamba, Ameru, and Agikuyu, all of them are part of the Central Bantus. They settle on the central part of Kenya. Abaluya on the Western. So your answer here is the odd one out, because these 3, they are all Central Bantus except Abaluya, who represents the Western Bantus. Then the national park marked T. So here you have Sibiloi, you can have here Malkamari, also game reserves. We also have Masai Mara here, Amboseli on this side here. Here we have Boni, Malkamari here, some of the national parks and game reserves in Kenya. So the one that is found near Lake Turkana is what we call Sibiloi. The vegetation that grows along the coastal part of Kenya, remember, this one represents the coastal part of Kenya, and the vegetation that normally grows along the coastal part of Kenya is what we call the mangrove forest. So that question was very, 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 very easy. Then number 36, sorry, number 36 is not there, but talk about rivers which flow throughout the year. They are called permanent, while those who flow, the rivers that flow or that dry up during the dry season are what we call seasonal rivers. Then 37, the following is a freshwater lake. Remember, most of the lakes in the Rift Valley are salty. So like Elementaita there, you can also find maybe that it is Bogoria, salty water, Nakuru, and Turkana also. And your answer is like Elementaita, which is forming part of the freshwater lakes, okay? In Kenya, elections are held after how many years? So general elections take place after 5 years. Census, 10 years. So moral values are important because moral values, they are values that guide us to do what is right. Do they make someone to be famous? No. Popularity is not an issue here. Moral values, do they enable us to be rich? No. Do they create peace in the society? Yes. And when people live in peace in society, the country can be able to develop economically. People must live in peace and harmony. Moral values cannot be able to make someone to be awarded a certificate. So those three answers, they are null and void. The correct answer there is they create peace in the society. Which of the following crops in Kenya is mainly grown for export? Or the main cash crop that is grown in Kenya is tea. Remember, maize is a what? Is a food crop. Another name of black cotton soil is what we call clay soil. Black cotton soil is also known as clay soil. Alluvial soil is known as what? Young soil, which is found at the shores of the river or the lake. Then volcanic soil, very fertile, normally found in the highlands part of Kenya. The dash helps to keep, or the dash keeps law and order in a country. These are the police. The main work of the police is to maintain law and order. A person who is legally allowed to be a member of a country is it a good person, a patriot, a democrat? No. So we will say a citizen. So you are a citizen of this country because you are legally allowed to be a member of this country because maybe you are born here in Kenya. So there is maybe two ways for you to become a Kenyan citizen, either by birth or registration. A patriot is someone who is ready to defend his country or someone who loves his country. Which of the following is not a modern means of transport? Use of animals in the past, that is traditional. Use of train, modern. Use of airplane, modern. Use of vehicles, modern. So traditional one is use of pack animals. Remember, a camel and a donkey was used for transport in the past. Which of the following mineral is mined at Lake Magadi? Remember Lake Magadi? Minerals in Kenya, and you say the main mineral export in Kenya is soda ash, and that soda ash is used or it is mined at Lake Magadi. So Lake Magadi, you can say soda ash, which is also used to make salt. So this one, I guess they wanted me to choose this one, which also represents soda ash. 46. Use the diagram below to answer the question. So remember, this is what we call a relief rainfall. When you see a mountain, then there is rainfall. We have two sides, windward side and leeward side, or what we call the rain shadow. And this type of rainfall mainly occurs in the highlands part of Kenya. For example, areas around Mount Kenya, that is Embu, Meru, areas like that. Then on the leeward side here, you will find the other side of Mount Kenya, areas like Nanyuki. So where you have a large water body like Kisumu and Mombasa, you will not experience this type of rainfall. Instead, you will experience conventional type of rainfall. So the type of rainfall shown above is called heavy rainfall, mountain rainfall, or relief. So all of you can tell that this one is relief. The side marked by letter X is called, so this one is what we call windward side, where there is rain. So if you chose A or B, is the same. Which county is likely to receive this type of rainfall? Remember Kilifi, Kisumu, and Mombasa. Kilifi and Mombasa are the coastal part of Kenya near the Indian Ocean. They will experience conventional rainfall. Kisumu near Lake Victoria will also experience conventional type of rainfall, but Embu is near Mount Kenya. So you will find out that it is experiencing relief or what you call orographic type of rainfall. So for 10 says a chain of mountains and hills is called ranges. So that one is a class 4 question. Very easy. Remember a plain, a plateau. Plateau is high raised land that is flat on top. A plain is a low-lying area. So number 15, The following are symbols of national unity except coat of arms, presidency, national flag, national anthem. So remember, symbols of national unity are things that shows that our country is having peace. Our country is peaceful. So when you see our coat of arms, national flag, national anthem, when you are singing the national anthem together, standing at attention, we have a national flag that represents that Kenya is a very peaceful country. We also have coat of arms, which is found in our currency, that is coins, some of the presidential offices, yeah, some of the, even in our IDs or passports, you'll find coat of arms, or even government offices like the chief's office, or even presidential cars. So these three, they represent symbols of national unity except the presidency. Which of the following is a sign of democracy? Remember, democracy is the will of the people, the rule of the people, the people. So democracy is when you're allowed to choose your leaders freely. So if maybe you're in school, cleaning the classroom, that is just a simple responsibility, does not show that you're democratic. People not reporting any bad behavior, that one also is not democracy. But when they choose their class secretaries or their class prefects, they are able now to express their democracy. Teachers only making rules for pupils to follow, no, that one is dictatorship. People will carry all the following activities if there is peace in society, except having meetings, visiting friends. So when you're having meetings freely, there is peace in that country. When you visit friends, there is peace. Playing with family members only, there is no peace because you cannot mingle, you cannot express your freedom of association, your association with other people, because maybe there's lack of peace. Traveling to any place, yes, you can travel to any place when there is peace in the country. Who is the Cabinet Secretary of Education? Remember Professor Magoa, who is our professor, our Cabinet Secretary for Education currently. The following are verbal means. Remember, verbal is from your mouth, it is oral. The following are verbal means of communication. Which one is not? Smoke signal, you don't talk, you just smoke. But mobile, you talk. Relations also, you talk. And radio, you find that these three you are talking. But smoke signals, you don't talk. So it is not a verbal, it is a non-verbal means of communication. The following is not a basic need for the family. Remember, we have basic needs, things that you cannot do without the clothing, of course. You cannot do without clothing, food, and shelter. But vehicles, you can do without them. It is not a basic need. Area with many people living there is said to be a dash populated, to be densely populated. Remember, if maybe few people are living there, you'll say it is sparsely populated. The growing of flowers, fruits, and vegetables known as what? Horticulture. Floriculture means you are growing flowers only. So agroforestry is when you grow trees, we grow crops with trees together in one farm. The following are hardwoods except, so remember we have hardwood and what? Softwoods. So hardwoods represent mahogany, meru oak, and mvule. These are found in natural forests. They are hardwoods, but pine is a softwood. Pine, cedar, cypress, you find that they're what? They are softwoods. Which of the following is not a pastoral community? Remember, a pastoral community, they move with their cattle in search of water and pasture. So most of them are keeping animals. Most of them are the Nilotes and some of the Cushites. So if you look at the answers here, Pokot, Nilotes, all these are the Nilotic groups in Kenya. They move from one place to another in search of water and pasture for their animals. But Agikuyu is a Bantu, mainly cultivators, so they will not form part of the pastoral community. Below are skills taught to various groups. Which one was taught to both sexes? Basketry to girls, cooking for girls, blacksmith for boys, medicine was being taught to any of the sexes, meaning anyone can become a herbalist, because in the past the sick were mainly treated by the herbalists using herbs and trees. So the questions, they were very easy, and I'm happy for those who did the work. So those who did not do the work, ensure that next time you are able also to do the work being given by the teachers. Have a good time.